Hey, what's up, guys? So you may not have heard the news, but the rumors are true. Hardcore mode is back here on the channel. I want to throw out a big thanks to the guy who's behind the Mustermann skin. And as we're going to see here in a second, we don't have to worry about any of those star ratings anymore. So first of all, you might wonder what hardcore mode is, right? This is playing Football Manager with no star ratings and with no attributes, with all that stuff turned off. All of the stuff that's supposed to sort of help you see what, by some random scale, what like the assistant manager thinks of this or thinks of that or whatever. Other people can play that way, but those of us who played Football Manager for quite some time know that it doesn't really help you that much. Honestly speaking, like the best way to play Football Manager is to completely forget about all that stuff and instead to focus on how your players are performing and what your coaches say in general about your players and kind of what their rules are. Now, it's going to be a little bit tricky here in this save because when we started off, as you probably know, we had some star ratings on. I'll take you through a little bit of this and show you sort of a little bit of what it looks like. We'll look at Cesar Aldana, who's kind of our star player. So as you can see, I mean, this player screen is completely different. Now, there's a little bit of stuff here that comes from his attributes, but there's no numbers here at all. There's just these sort of dots, and you can see in general, okay, maybe he doesn't have much by way of long shots. He does have a very good whatever leadership is, whatever that's supposed to mean, but it doesn't tell us like exactly what the number is, whether he's really good at this or whether he's really bad at this or anything like that. We kind of have to get to know him as a person to figure out what's going on. No information here about anything. There's no star reports here anywhere or anything like that. Now, this right here, I see that this is actually still on here. If Mr. Mustermann sees this, he can probably guess that you can kind of cheat. If you hold your mouse over here, it'll tell you, oh, excellent rating for the senior team. If you know exactly what that means, then okay, yeah, you know what's going on. Truth is that on this screen, which is always going to be like this in hardcore mode, you can look up here and get a good idea of, okay, what kind of player is this in general? He's a star player. Maybe we would say like a 4 or a 4.5 star player. And here are his pros and here are his cons. One reason why you want to play this way is you want to pay a lot of attention to sort of what this kind of screen says. However, when we take a look here at how he's played so far in the first match that we saw, he played very, very poorly. I've already fined him once for not playing well, and we may need to have another discussion about his very poor performance here in recent matches. And we are probably, it's not going to let me, I think, find him. I might take another look in another place to see if we can. We take a look at his form. His recent form has been kind of poor with one really good match in between, which tells me that he is still somewhat inconsistent. He's fairly consistent, but that inconsistency, whatever it is starting to get to him. There may be other reasons for this. But that kind of gives you an idea of what it's like when we play hardcore mode. Yeah, it doesn't let me find him because I did just find him, I mean, like 2 matches ago. So that's kind of the way it is. You can't find your players over and over and over again, as much fun as it would be. It's not going to let you have that much fun. Gives you sort of a basic idea of what hardcore mode is like. Now, when you go over to the squad planner, it makes things a little bit more difficult, right? Because if you show the full squad view, you've got no idea. Now, again, you can hover your mouse over this and cheat if you really want to, but I'm not going to go through here and be like, oh, well, what about Cesar Meza? What is he in this role? What is Darren Silvas in this role and all this stuff, and like write it all down? I'm not even going to worry about that, right? We're going to spend most of our time, assuming we go into here, taking a look at... how do we do this? Oh yeah, hide full squad view. We'll spend most of our time taking a look at this screen, making sure we have enough players here for each position, maybe a young player that can come in or two, something like that. And we'll worry about it sort of from those lines. That's the way that I play with hardcore mode. It makes things a lot more interesting. This way, when you're looking at like scouting players and saying, okay, who, is good, who is bad, it makes it a little bit more difficult. You look at the scouting report. You can see this player is extremely interested. They say that he's a good potential signing. His age, what is his age? It's the one thing I care about. Down here is 21. That might not be a bad idea, actually. Maybe we could get this guy, whatever position it is that he plays, he's a striker. Now, the big question, of course, is how does he compare with Aldana? And then the other question here is what's up with this inconsistency? We can do this, of course, really quickly here. Here's the comparison with Aldana. Again, see that there is no star rating to worry about. And this will give you kind of a... very, very brief overview of how the players are together. This is, again, different from the old skin I was using that actually had everything sort of circled out. You're probably best off looking at these statistics to see exactly what's going on. And, of course, these statistics include all the non-conference matches as well. And we can see that Aldana pretty clearly is the superior player. Although I will say that Virginia's up in the ACC, which is a level higher than us. So you never know. Maybe that would be a good idea to go after this Mark Dutton. Anyway, a little bit of an idea of sort of what goes on when we're talking about hardcore mode. Now, because we have this fixed up in this skin, and I presume in future versions of this skin, we're not going to worry too much about like oh, well, we have to go back to having star ratings and future saves and stuff like that. I'm going to keep this around for a while. So look for it to become a permanent feature on this channel, at least as long as we use this type of skin. Hardcore mode is back, baby, and I love it, and I'm not going to get sick of it, and I hope that you enjoy it. Talk to you later. Bye.